When people hear the word healthy food, they usually think of bananas, oranges, tomatoes, avocados, spinach, nuts, and whole grains. And for most people, those foods are excellent choices. But for someone living with kidney disease or on dialysis, some of these same foods can become dangerous if eaten in the wrong amounts. That surprises a lot of people. How can something healthy suddenly become risky? The answer lies in what healthy kidneys normally do. Healthy kidneys work around the clock to remove extra minerals, balance fluids, and filter waste from the blood. But when the kidneys stop working properly, those minerals can build up in the body instead of leaving through urine. That's why some foods that are nutritious for the average person may need to be limited or carefully managed by kidney patients. Let's look at some examples. The first is bananas. Bananas are packed with vitamins and fiber, but they are also high in potassium. Potassium helps muscles and nerves function properly, including the heart. But if potassium levels become too high because the kidneys can't remove it efficiently, it can affect the heart's rhythm and become a medical emergency. Next are oranges and orange juice. Many people drink orange juice every morning, believing it's one of the healthiest beverages available. While it's rich in vitamin C, it's also another major source of potassium. For someone with advanced kidney disease, drinking large amounts regularly may not be the best choice. Then we have avocados. They are often called a superfood because they are full of healthy fats. But avocados are also naturally very high in potassium. A single avocado can contain a significant amount of potassium, which may be too much for some kidney patients. Let's talk about tomatoes. Fresh tomatoes, tomato paste, tomato sauce, and ketchup all contain potassium. This doesn't necessarily mean every kidney patient must avoid tomatoes completely, but portion sizes matter, especially when tomato products are eaten several times a day. Another food many people don't expect is spinach. Spinach is loaded with vitamins and minerals. However, it's also high in potassium, and depending on how it's prepared, it may contribute more potassium than many people realize. Now let's discuss dried fruits. Raisins, dates, dried apricots, and prunes seem like healthy snacks because they are fruit. The problem is that drying removes water while concentrating the natural sugars and minerals, including potassium. A small handful may contain much more potassium than fresh fruit. Another surprise is nuts and seeds. They are often promoted as heart-healthy snacks. While they do contain healthy fats, many varieties are also high in phosphorus. When damaged kidneys can't remove excess phosphorus, it can weaken bones and contribute to calcium deposits in blood vessels over time. Then there are whole grains. Whole grains are healthier than refined grains for many people because they are rich in fiber. However, certain whole grains also contain more phosphorus and potassium than refined versions. Whether they are appropriate depends on the stage of kidney disease and your individual treatment plan. Let's not forget coconut water. It's heavily advertised as a natural sports drink. But coconut water contains a surprisingly high amount of potassium. For someone on dialysis, drinking large amounts could be risky. Here's another hidden source people often overlook: salt substitutes. Many people think replacing table salt with a salt substitute is automatically healthier. But many salt substitutes replace sodium with potassium. For someone with kidney disease, that swap may actually create a serious problem. Even smoothies can become dangerous. Imagine blending bananas, spinach, oranges, avocado, yogurt, and coconut water into one drink. To most people, that's the picture of health. But for someone with kidney disease, that single smoothie could contain an enormous amount of potassium. This is why kidney diets are so different from diets designed for the general public. Healthy doesn't always mean safe, and safe doesn't always mean unhealthy. The most important thing to understand is this: there isn't one diet that works for every kidney patient. Some people still have partial kidney function. Some are on dialysis. Some have diabetes. Others have different medical conditions that affect what they can safely eat. That's why it's so important to follow the advice of your kidney specialist or renal dietitian instead of copying diets you see online. If you have healthy kidneys, many of the foods we've talked about today are perfectly nutritious. But if you are living with kidney disease, food choices become much more personal. The goal isn't to fear food. The goal is to understand it. The more you know about what's on your plate, the better equipped you are to protect your health.